Hello followers, this is another night of Upper Proportions. This is something different I've done this evening. I have been leaving included that, but I'm on track. For the last few days I've been thinking about baking, right? So I spent 3 years at school a lot of years ago doing catering. And what I used to do is to make things and then take them to a cafe, which, well, it wasn't really a cafe. I can't, in a place called Ripon, which is in North Yorkshire. So what I used to do there, right, I was there for 3 years. Not at the school because I was there for a bit longer than that, but this was part of my work experience. So I'm not to be called a expert on baking, but I do enjoy it because in so many ways because it keeps me occupied and you become what you make and it tastes nicer. And I know there's other bakers, right, like who got more experience than I have, but from what I've learned from myself, right, is I can bake quite simple basic things, but I did one time along right where I used to bake a cake, right, in memory of something I did, right, that I have. It is a big achievement for me, and it was part of the Olympic Games in 2012 when I baked a cake, right, for that. It was hard work. I baked a cake like you do, but it was the topping for it. See, I was trying to save about using marzipan, so I had to cut out the numbers that I put onto a cake, right? So by the moment right now I've been making some biscuits. Yesterday I made some cinnamon biscuits, and I made some peanut butter ones as well. So what I used to do to make them is I used about 100 grams of sugar, or if it's sweetener, it's the same amount, but it's low calories, right? Anyway, and then it's so about 50 grams of butter, but you can cut them into cubes anyway. Once you used all that, try you use a wooden bowl, a mixing spoon, or if you've got a mixing bowl, right, that has one of those like a Kenwood, right. They're much easier to do because you can get the whole ingredients all at once, which I use a long time, which I have used many times in the past. I wish I had one myself, to be honest, right? It'd be much easier than just just doing that all the time. But as someone said to me once, right, that is when you use your hands, right, you actually build the muscle all the time. So I did that, right. So going back to what I was saying. I used 100 grams of sugar. If it's caster, it's 200. If it's lower, you can either put more or less in. It doesn't matter because it's lower calorie anyway. So I've just used I can't what it's called now. It's a type of sweetener in a yellow box. If anyone can tell me what it's called, right, I'd be appreciated because that way I'm learning something that. But I bought it today. I would have said so what it was called, right? But unfortunately I can't remember what it's called now. Unfortunately, after that, you mix the sugar or sweetener with the butter, right, all together. So the butter I use, right, is unsalted, but you meant to use like a proper butter, like Stork, right, we can use. Stork is more like a baking butter, right? Stork is like, I think it's white. I think Stork. It's a white, very soft butter, but you put it in with your baking with your with the sugar as well, or sweetener. Depends, right? If you want a healthy option, you can have a sweetener as well. Anyway, so as I'm digressing, and I do apologise. I try to do a lot of it sometimes, right? Because due to my condition with autism, with ADHD, and then what I do, then you mix into a bowl. And you crack 2 eggs, not into the bowl itself, but you got to crack 2 eggs into a mug, or into a mug, right? And then you have to mix it up right, pop, and then you keep mixing that right until it's like a cake mix, right? So then what you add then, right, is I think you add then you add half a cup of milk. I've used semi-skimmed, but you can use full fat as well. It depends on what your preference you want. So I used semi-skimmed. It works well, it doesn't matter what milk it is, to be honest, right? Because I've seen you semi-skimmed a lot of times, and it works exactly the same as any milk, but it's more healthier. But you can use it, but you might be able to use your H2, which is more treated, I suppose. I don't know, I've never used it before. I've tried it, but I just didn't like it because it tastes a bit sour to me, right? As it is, and by the way, it was treated. So after you used all that, you add after you add your milk, you can put whatever flavour you want. You can put cinnamon, ginger. If you want ginger, you can have peanut butter, etc. But there are certain ones that won't taste nice, like jam. I don't think jam will taste nice for any biscuit. Right, so you find a flavour that you want. You can have chocolate as well, right, or caramel. Caramel would be nice, right? So when you bite into it, you got that gooiness out that comes out of the centre of it as well. So I got my cat here, Willow, right, playing around. So once you've done all that, you add 400 grams to 500 grams of flour, maybe less than that. Say about 300 to 400 grams of flour, right? And if you want to make into a cake, yes, you can do it that way, right, into a cake. But if you wanted to make it, well, you have to add more of the. So I use plain flour. But if you want Sarrasin flour, yeah, you can use it as well to make into a cake. But if you want to use baking flour, yeah, you got to use, I think it's either bicarbonate or baking powder, or soda, what it's called. It's the same thing really. Baking powder and baking soda, it's the same thing really. It's the way how they call it by its name really. It's basically and I think the baking powder, right, or soda, what it's called, right, it makes the cake rise. So when you add that to a plain flour, it makes the cake rise somehow. I don't know. I've never tried that yet, but I'm happy to try it at some point. With me weaving, so that's all really. So at the moment, important things, once you make it into a dough, it's more important to wrap it up in cling film, put it in the fridge, right, to let it to rest, because sometimes it might taste better, right, when you make the dough in the day and then make other biscuits using a pastry cutter. Depends on what size you want. Like I use the ones that are quite not too big but reasonable. So that's what I'll be doing this evening. But with weaving, I'm still thinking of what to make next. I'm at the moment in the process of making a bag at the moment, but then I've got to make the other side of it as well. I will take pictures of it gradually, how it's going to turn out, and see what's going to happen next. So that's what I've been doing up to there. And anyway, if you want to know what I do in that, right, you are welcome to go to my GoFundMe page. It's called and it comes under as Autistic Awareness Creative Art. It's art or arts, it's one of them two, I think, but you'll be able to find it on that page. and you see what all sorts of stuff I've done tie-dyes, jewellery, I've done all sorts. I've tried making boxes, all sorts really, but the moment tried, I'm now weaving. So that's all I've got to say for tonight. I don't know what I'm doing yet tomorrow, but I'll be doing some weaving hopefully, and that's it really. So for tonight, I'll say good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.